All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cleveland arm wrestling practice. As you may know, Dawg Fights 9 is just right around the corner, May 31st, 2025 in Saddavski, Ohio. And boy, do we got a good card for you guys. I have no doubt this is going to be the biggest, best dog fights yet. So today, myself and the Cleveland arm wrestling team, we're going to be going over the card and giving our predictions. Got anything to say, Clint, before we start?
Yeah, look at this guy right next to me. That's what I got to say. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, he's got a couple matches.
We're gonna bring it.
All right, let me get the card pulled up here, and we'll get our predictions underway. And these are in no particular order. I don't have like a set list yet for who's going to be the first match or who's going to be the last match. So, how about we start with you, Clint, since you guys are the spectacle of the night. We have Clint Melee versus Adam Silver.
Should be fun. I want to hear what you guys have to say first, and I'll chime in last.
All right, you can start, Marcus, if you want.
Yeah. I got you, buddy. That's all I got to say.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I've got Clint. He's coming up strong. Made some pretty good improvements here in the last couple months.
I'm going to go with Clint based off of what I've seen like the last couple of months. His back pressure, his top roll has leveled up a lot. So I don't know how hard Adam is training. I know Adam is more of a producer, promoter. So I hope he's ready.
Well, I appreciate that, guys. So, Adam, thanks for taking the match. Look, I just love doing this sport. I want to have a good match with you. You definitely got me on experience. I don't like using the word underdog, but if I had to put myself somewhere, I would say I am slightly the underdog. I'm going to give you everything I got, and we're going to have a blast either way. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to give you a number. I'm hoping I win.
Obviously, I like both of these guys. Both Clint and Adam are my friends. Clint's obviously my training partner. I've pulled with both of these guys. More often with Clint, but I've pulled with Adam quite a bit too. Adam's got a strong hook. If Clint can stay out of that and somehow attack Adam's hand and maybe get a good flash pin or something, I think it could be a good match. I think based off experience, Adam might have him in that aspect. I do know Adam. I believe he was coming off an injury too, so you don't know how recovered he is. And, you know, like Rich said, how hard is he training right now? I don't know. So overall, yeah, not as hard as Clint, that's for sure.
Not as hard as Clint.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a good match. I'm going to say Adam's going to take it.
Fair enough.
Only to fire you up, Clint.
I just hope it's a good match. I just hope we're going to have fun. We're going to
Yep.
have a good time
Yep.
either way. Win or lose.
I need you fired up for this, so that's why I'm not picking you.
I'll be ready. I'll be
All
ready.
right.
I'm coming for you, Adam.
All right, moving on to the next match, we're going to stick with one of our own, Mr. Rich Callero. He's actually got two matches at Dawg Fights. He's got a left-handed match versus Johnny Jarrett and a right-handed match versus Niles Anderson, which is going to be a huge match. Let's first start with the left-handed match versus Johnny Jarrett.
Dang, man, bro. Like, I feel like I got my hands full on May 31st. First of all, Kevin, thank you for the opportunity, letting me participate in your event. I really appreciate it. I'm blessed, happy, excited. Johnny, I know he's a lefty. Naturally, I'm not a lefty naturally, but I'll tell you one thing. May 31st, I'm going to put out his fire.
So we're doing both matches, right?
Oh, that's just Johnny.
This is Johnny's. This is Johnny's. So Johnny, he is very dedicated. That guy trains.
Yes,
he trains like nothing else. This guy's no slouch. I think this is going to be a good match. And I think that I would say Johnny is the underdog, but I think if there's a guy that can push it and maybe get the victory, it's him. I got to be honest. I'm going to say it would be like maybe 3-1, maybe 3-2, Rich. That's what I'm saying. But I would not be shocked on that left hand if Johnny could pull out a win.
Yeah, I have no doubt Johnny has the ability to win or to get a win. But the last few months training with Rich, he feels like a different human right now. And I haven't trained with Johnny in quite some time. Though he looks good, I see him in his videos and his, social media posts. He looks like a freaking monster. I just think Rich is going to be too much for him this time around.
Yeah, and I think Johnny's going to watch this video, and he's going to use that to fuel his fire as well. It's going to be a good match.
I've never pulled against Johnny. I do see his Facebook posts all the time. Every week I see some sort of side pressure, some sort of back pressure lift, and he seems like a monster. But, I pull against Rich every Saturday, and he's something different. I got Rich on this one.
Yeah, as a puller myself, I can't move anything against Rich. He's clicking at the right time, hitting a good peak, and hopefully he can keep continuing to improve. And I think he's going to get the win.
And I'll just say one more thing real quick. Johnny's a great guy, great person. I see his pictures on Facebook. Great family man. He's a fire department. Yes. He works for the fire department. Thank you for your service. We love you, bro. And I'm just looking for a grinder. Win or lose, I know it's going to be one hell of a what match.
Yeah, I consider him part of our team here without a doubt. So it's going to be great.
One of us.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, good luck to both of them. I think it's going to be a hell of a match. Next one, we got Justin Rice versus County Fair Stephen Cost. And I think both of these guys are at a very similar time frame in the sport. I think Stephen might be a little bit more experienced, but it's not by much. Both of these guys usually train on Tuesday nights in Wellington, out with J. Rob and Todd Hutchins, and they've both been pretty consistent. It doesn't seem like they ever miss a practice. Both of them are striving to get better, and I think on the Dawg Fights platform, it's going to be huge for one of them to get a win and possibly push themselves into maybe state rankings contention. So it's going to be a hard one to pick. Rice has an extremely strong hand. It's a big hand. It's thick. I think that could give Steven some problems. Steven's definitely got the edge in technique. So if Steven can, out-technique Justin, then I think Steven could take it. But I'm going to say Justin's going to pull out the victory, maybe a 3-2.
Yeah, so I'm glad I get a chance to talk about this match specifically because I've pulled a lot in Wellington lately, so I know both these guys. And yeah, I think Justin's done it for 4 or 5 months maybe, I'm thinking, and Steve, of course, around a year. So Steve is really fiery, and he has an excellent top roll type move. His technique is good. He pushes me. I'm not sure in a real match that I could beat him. When it comes to Justin, for some reason, I think he's stronger. I'm pretty positive I could not beat Justin. I could maybe get 1 out of 3. So I think it's about setup, honestly. And I think that Justin is just basically stronger if he gets what he needs. But Steve is a wild card. He gets so amped up. If he can control his personality and the way that he comes to the table and think about the match, I think he's got a real shot. I'm rooting for both these guys. I hope they both win. I'm going to say 3-2 Justin, just because I think he's stronger. But that's it.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really am too familiar with the styles on both sides of the table. So how long have they been in the sport, each of these two guys?
I think both of them under a year.
Under a year. So, hopefully from this opportunity in Dawg Fights 9, they will, evolve and both get better. I like to see a grinder and no injuries. I'm not going to pick anybody because I'm not really sure, what they each bring to the table, but I wish them the best of luck.
Yeah, that's all we're looking forward to is a good match. That's what Dawg Fights is all about, is putting on good matches.
So I've pulled against Stephen and Justin before, especially at Wellington. Justin does have a big hand. That can be a problem for Stephen. I pretty much agree with everything you said. Stephen's very technical. If he can do his posting top roll or any sort of top roll against Justin, I think Stephen has the edge in that. Just experience-wise and technique-wise, I think.
Yeah, let's get it, boys. Put on a good match.
Who'd you pick?
Stephen.
Steven? Okay. Cool.
All right, next we have Ohio rankings on the line between Jose Hernandez and Greg Arnold. Both of these guys have been in the sport just about as long as me, probably somewhere between 8, 9, 10 years. And yeah, they're putting up their rankings on the line, and this is going to be a good match too. Jose Hernandez, a good hook puller, and Greg Arnold, that guy can pretty much pull anywhere as far as I know. I've seen him hook, I've seen him top roll, I've seen him pull out a fast as hell flop wrist press. So if I'm Jose Hernandez, you better be ready for everything. If I'm Greg Arnold, you better be ready for that strong side pressure and that hook power, because I myself have lost to it. So I'm going to go with Jose Hernandez just based off the last time I pulled him. It was probably about a year ago, but Jose felt super strong. And if he's continued his training, I could only imagine him being stronger right now.
To be completely fair, I want to get this out of the way. I don't follow the rankings anymore. I kind of the way my style is, I quit worrying about that stuff. I don't know the two guys well enough. I know the names, I know who they are, I've met them, but I would not feel comfortable putting out a prediction.
Well, I think I'm going to have to agree with Clint on this one. I don't really follow both of them. I know they both are pretty strong pullers, above average. But if I had to pick one, I would say Greg Arnold. Just because he's, in my opinion, got more versatility on the table.
Yeah.
I know Jose may be a little stronger with the side pressure and the hook, but I feel like the other guy may be a little bit more craftier, and that might get the job done. We'll see.
Yeah, and Greg Arnold, he also trains with his dad,
Exactly.
Bill Arnold. Guy's been in the sport since the over-the-top days. When you have a training partner like that you can train with day in and day out, and who has the knowledge of Bill Arnold, that's huge for Greg. So you got to take that into consideration as well. All right, Greg, Jose, show them who you are. So moving on to a big-time matchup with my buddy sitting here to the right of me.
Oh, boy.
Marcus Rhinox versus Tracy Hire.
Rhino, right?
Rhino.
Rhino.
Yep, here we go. Yep. Marcus the Rhino Rhinox. So obviously I train with you week in and week out, and I know that you've gotten stronger over the past few months. Once again, Tracy, great guy, trains with us quite often. Hasn't been a lot lately though. So I don't know where Tracy is at with his training. I don't know how strong he is. And this is a left-handed match too, by the way, right?
Correct, yep.
I do believe Tracy is better left-handed. How are you left-handed, Marcus? Better left or right?
I would say my left's better right now.
All right, so we got
I'm
two.
gonna have to agree on that. Sparring with Marcus every week, his cup pronation is there. I know he's right-handed, but when we spar on the table, there's something about his left that just speaks a little bit louder than the right. So I think they're May 31st. They're gonna find out why they call him the Rhino.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. And Marcus, you have one of the biggest hands. I think you probably have the biggest hands in our club right now. And I think Tracy, I think you're going to have a problem gripping up and getting through those hands. You better have a flop wrist in your pocket or something, because, yeah, I think it's going to give you some problems. I think Marcus is going to take this match 3-0.
Appreciate that.
You want to talk about yourself, Marcus?
Not really. I wasn't prepared to talk about myself today. I was just going to say good luck to Tracy, and I hope we put on a good show. Both safe afterwards, too.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with exactly what Rich said. He is a right-handed person typically, but his left hand is just, I think, better than his right almost. I usually have a pretty good advantage on left-handed versus people, but Marcus, it's not even close for me.
All right, so I got something to say about this match. I haven't seen Tracy. I haven't pulled him in about a year probably. He used to be able to beat me on the left hand pretty good, pretty easily, and that's not saying a lot, but I know he's strong. But I have seen him do multiple tournaments. Yeah, sure, the amateur class, but he would get like second every time. Like, he is no joke. He's really strong, Marcus. Like, it's not going to be easy, I can tell you right now. So Tracy, the only thing is Marcus's hand. I swear it's as big as when I remember locking up with Auden Larrett and Devin Larrett. I mean, it is chunky. So I know you do have a flop press, like Kevin said. I'm going to give you the first one. I think I'm going to give you a victory. But then I think Marcus catches on, and I think you could be in trouble, buddy. But you're a great guy, too, like those Toledo guys over there. So I'm rooting for you. Marcus's hand, for some reason, he's so frustrating to pull. He's like the one guy I hate arm wrestling at practice. Really, I do, because I have no shot for some reason. I can hit as hard as I can. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to go with Marcus 3-1, but I wish you luck, Tracy. I really do.
All right, looks like the Cleveland arm wrestling team is sticking with our guy here, so good luck, Tracy. All right, moving on. The Road Warrior himself, traveling from Pennsylvania to take on, Tim Lewis, to take on Gage Black from Toledo. Kind of a weird match, I guess. Tim Lewis is going to be a little bit heavier. I don't know. I mean, Gage, does he have the ability to win this? Yeah, I guess. I think Gage's hand is a lot stronger than Tim's, but we all know Tim can pull without his hand. He can pull in weird positions with his palm through his elbow. It's just going to come down to, can Gage flash Tim? If he can't, Tim's going to win the match.
Yeah, so Tim has a interesting style the way he arm wrestles. And if you don't, unless you're incredibly strong, like, right off the bat, hitter, like, you're going to have a hard time with Tim because he's going to make that match go long until it works out for him. Gage is one of my favorite pullers. And I got to be honest, Gage, you owe me. I thought you were going to do a little bit better against Parker, and I'm still kind of upset about that. I thought you were going to beat him. So I think this is probably, in my opinion, your biggest match. I want you to prove me wrong. Tim's tough to beat. I think you can do it. I'm going to say 3-2, Gage Black.
Uh-oh. You hear that, Tim?
How long ago did Gage pull Parker? How long ago was that?
It was like maybe 7 or 8 months ago.
Okay, so over 7-8 months ago.
And Parker got him pretty, it was convincing.
Well, factoring in the weight difference, the horsepower difference, I know there is a pretty huge gap there, in my opinion. But we've seen like bigger mismatches, and sometimes weight is irrelevant, is my point, right? If Gage has trained up the way he's said he has been, and he's looking pretty good in the last couple of practices, he may have enough horsepower in him to put Tim Lewis away early, is, in my opinion, going to be the key. If he doesn't have the ability to put him away early, Tim may take him to deep waters, and that's where you don't want to be with Tim Lewis. So Gage, get it done early. If not, it's going to drag out and probably not going to be in your favor. But I see a good matchup regardless coming up. Gage, this would be a bigger win for Gage than for Tim, in my opinion. I really don't know what to expect on this one.
Yeah, this would be a huge win for Gage if he can get it.
Again, I'm not overly familiar with either puller. Just looking to see a great show, and good luck to both guys.
So I want to start off by saying Gage has one of the best posting top rolls I've ever pulled against. I have nothing against that top roll, so kudos to him for that. I've also pulled against Tim Lewis in a hook, and I think I agree with Rich. That's Tim's wheelhouse. If he gets you in that hook, I think it's going to be a problem. So I think I got to go 3-1 to Tim, for sure.
All All right, a little bit of split
controversy
decision
here.
here. So we'll see how it goes. And Tim also has 2 matches on the card, so let's stick with him. And he has a left-handed match versus Mishima. I can't remember what his first name is. But
Well, if he beats Tim Lewis, we'll have to figure out what his first name is.
yeah, right. I think
Right?
everybody will know what his first name is if he beats Tim Lewis.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at his picture here. Looks like a big, strong kid, huge traps, huge muscles. Obviously, he must be a formidable opponent to even be challenging Tim Lewis left-handed. But we all know how Tim's left is.
Yeah, I mean,
it's-
if you watch Tim the way he does things, he takes matches from everybody. So he likes to give people a chance if they want it.
Yeah,
I don't know
he's-
anything about the other guy. I'm going to say 3-0 Tim just because that guy's pretty tough to beat on the left arm.
Yeah, I'm kind of going to agree with that. I like to call Tim the gatekeeper into like the pro division. Yeah, so
yeah.
like a lot of these guys, they see videos of Tim Lewis and for whatever reason they think they can beat him. Well, Tim Lewis is a lot stronger and a lot more technical than people think he is. And his left, I've pulled it. It is incredible. I'm also going to go at Tim 3-0.
I want to know Mishima's first name, so I guess you got to win for us to figure that out.
I think it's Casey. I could be wrong, but I think it's Casey.
Lewis, the road warrior, Tim. I think he's like probably safe to say one of the most active pullers all year round. Like I see him pulling almost like every other weekend for sure. So that left arm has to be conditioned. I'm gonna pick Tim, 3-zip.
So I haven't pulled the other guy, Mishima. I've only pulled Tim, but if you know arm wrestling around here in Northeast Ohio, you know Tim. So I got to go with Tim as well.
Ooh, this is a good one. Alex Bean from East Ohio Arm Wrestling and our prodigy here from Cleveland, who's now living in Colorado and doesn't train with us anymore, David Saddavski. It's going to be a good one.
So it's been a long time since I pulled David. I will tell you that it was way too much for me. I mean, it was just too big. So I don't know what he's into now. He has very limited match experience. I know that for a fact. I'm not sure he's ever had it ready go. I mean,
This would be his first ever.
yeah, so that's tough. Here's the thing. The guy he's facing, Alex Bean, I've seen him arm wrestle a few times. That club he pulls with over there, they are no joke. I mean, Billy Collins, those guys are strong. And Alex Bean is a monster. He's not only a hell of an announcer, he is a puller. Because of his experience, I'm taking Alex. I have no idea. It could be a 3-2 match. I just don't know what kind of experience David has.
Yeah, I know how strong Alex Bean is. This is going to be a stylistic match, I think. Alex is incredible in the hook. David is a monster top roller. He's tall, probably 6'4", 260, long lever, hard guy to hook. But like you said, Clint, experience is going to be huge. This is going to be David's first ever professional, match with a referee at an event. That comes into play, whether it's, the butterflies, the nervousness, all that stuff has to be taken into consideration. I'm going to go with Alex Bean on this one. But if you guys don't know who David Saddavski is, check out his Instagram. It's Sadov, SADOV _5. The dude is a beast. I mean, completely ripped, basically becoming like an arm wrestling influencer at this point. Good guy to follow.
So I haven't seen David in over a year, but he's like one of those guys, when he walks in through the door for practice, you're like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like, because you know he's going to bring it. He's just that strong. Again, he doesn't have a whole lot of experience, but from the time that I spent sparring with him, he is extremely strong. He still needs a lot of experience. So with that being said, Alex, more diverse, more experience, maybe not as strong, but I think he's going to have more tricks and hacks and more technical on the table to eventually pull out the W against David. I think this will be a good learning and growing experience for David. I got Alex on this one.
So I've pulled with David when he was here a few months, 8-10 months ago maybe, and he's the most naturally gifted arm wrestler that I've probably ever pulled. Height, size, strength. I mean, the man's built for arm wrestling, in my opinion. Monster forearms.
This could be like the perfect Drago versus Rocky type of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Could be. As I was saying, I have nothing for David. I've seen his lifts. He's told me, I mean, don't quote me on this, but I think he said 138 pounds of back pressure.
Which back pressure, like this or like this?
Yes, elbow back pressure.
Straight back.
Isometric, just like that.
On cable or freeway?
On cable.
On cable?
Yeah.
Okay, it's different on cable than it is on freeway.
I'm not sure if it was
Just being
138.
clear, just being clear.
I'm not sure if it was 138 pounds real weight or
It's still good weight, though.
cable
Don't
weight.
get me wrong.
But yeah, he's an absolute monster. I don't know the other guy, Alex. I've never met him, never pulled him. How much does he weigh? Alex, yeah.
I'd say 235 maybe.
235.
I think
David's like 250, something like that, yeah. This one's a tough one just because I don't know, but I have a gut feeling David is going to pull this one out.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? It's going to be a good one regardless.
I would love to see it, honestly. I love David. I've wanted to see him pull a match for years now, so I'm definitely rooting for David.
Yeah.
I like both of these guys, but I am rooting for David.
Say one more thing too. David is like the nicest, most gentle giant you could ever meet. I think when he unleashes, some of his power, it could surprise some people.
Yeah. In the famous words of David, train your pronator. All right, Rich, moving on to your second match. Pretty big match, in my opinion. This is for the number one spot in Ohio at 198 or 220? 220. So number one spot in the line, 220 in the state of Ohio. We got my teammate and friend Rich Callero versus Niles Anderson from the Dayton area. And this, another freaking barn burner of a match. Niles, an amazing inside polar, strong hook, good endurance. And then we got Rich. We know he's got some of the strongest back pressure in the state of Ohio, incredible hand and wrist. Another stylistic matchup, hooker, top roller. Clint, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know Niles that well. In my opinion, that weight class area, Rich always, he kind of has that. That's like his weight class. That's what he's earned. So, over the past couple months, Rich, he's been a different guy. He's got this confidence that he didn't necessarily have a couple years ago when I started arm wrestling. So I don't know Niles that well, but I'm going to go with Rich. I'm going to say probably 3-2. I think Rich wants it, and I'm sure Niles does too, but I got a feeling this guy next to me is going to take care of business.
So I've been thinking about this one, obviously, because it has more value to it. Not that the Johnny match isn't important, but like this one's for rankings. I've never been ranked number one. So with that being said, it makes it that much more important for me. This is a classical case of young lion versus old lion. Niles is up and coming. I've been around for a long time, and we both have something to prove on that day. I'm sure he's going to bring his A game. 100% certain I'm going to bring my A game. Last couple of months, I've seen a lot of different things come alive for me on the table. So I'm going to bring it May 31st. I'm going to be a dog on that table. And Niles, I know they call you Niles the Beast Anderson. Bring the beast because you're going up against the dog, brother.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rich 3-1. I don't know Niles, and no disrespect to him. Like Rich just said, he is coming back into himself right now. Super strong, really solid everywhere. Looking forward to seeing you pull it off.
Thank you.
Niles is number one right now, correct?
I believe so. Or is it vacant? Is it a vacant spot?
It's vacant because actually this was supposed to be originally against Cody.
Cody Smith, yep.
Right. So I remember I reached out to Cody. I felt that I was, starting to come along nicely, and I said, hey, let me test myself. So I respectfully reached out to Cody and said, hey, let's test the waters out, man. I'd like to challenge you, not just right-handed, but left-handed as well. So let's do it. And then anyway, things changed, and now the 220 spot, which was held by Cody, is vacant, and now it's going to be Niles and I going at it.
All right.
So I'm going with Rich on this one. I don't know Niles, but I do know how strong Rich is. And I think ever since February or March, Rich has been saying he's been feeling healthy and fresh. And I think we've all been feeling it on the table. And
I want to say something real quick after you're done.
yeah, and I can't move Rich, so I'm going with Rich, probably 3-1.
So back in August of last year, against Bo, is his name?
Horner.
Bo Horner. I got my ass handed to me. Like, I got crushed, decimated, and I took it, and he earned it, bro, because that guy's a beast. But I believe that was the start of rebuilding myself, because when you come across a match like that where you got nothing for that guy across your table, and you think you're good, and you go up against a guy like that, and like then all of a sudden you just see how wide the gap is. Thank you, Bo, for opening up my eyes, right? Because like you gotta like go through situations like that in order to grow. So after that, I decided to like really dig deep into like my training and make sure that it's not just harder but smarter. So that's why I've seen the changes occurring. So we can all learn from like losses like that, and I think anyone that wants to get better and wants to grow in any sport has the chance and the opportunity to. Just don't quit, keep grinding, and believe in yourself.
Yeah, I know what that Bo match meant to you, Rich, and I know how much it drove you to get better. And they usually say the younger guy is usually the guy that has more drive. I don't know if anybody has more drive than Rich Callero. This guy has not missed a practice here in Cleveland, I don't think ever.
Forever.
If I'm not here, Rich is here running it. Not many people as dedicated to this as this guy. So I want to see Rich, my teammate, get that #1 spot in Ohio, and I think he can do it.
Show him that arm, Rich. Give him the flex.
Yeah.
We're coming for you.
All right.
Bring the beast, baby.
You heard it, Niles. Bring it. All right, moving on to the next match. I don't want to bypass any match. So Martin Mullet versus Garrett O'Neal. This is a left-handed match. I don't know much about Garrett, and I do know a lot about Martin. I just don't know a lot about his left arm. I know Martin is strong as hell in a lot of different positions. I'm going to go with Martin Mullet.
There's nothing more I can say. I don't know Garrett. I've never even heard of him before. I'm sure he's a nice dude, and we'll get to meet him. I'm going to go with Martin just because he's extremely strong, and I can't do anything with him. I have no idea. So because he arm wrestles with that Northeast Ohio team a lot.
Yep.
Those guys they're tough. I'll go with Martin.
Yeah, and I think this is a match that was put on by Tim Lewis. He obviously knows these guys a lot better than I do, and if Tim thinks it's going to be a good match, I got to go with him and say, hey, let's do it.
I've pulled Martin just one time here in the practice, and he's ridiculously strong. I could only imagine he's stronger now. So I don't know the other guy, so I'm just going to say Martin's probably going to take it for sure.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with both pullers, so best of luck.
I've pulled Martin a few times, and his cup is ridiculous. I have had no answer for his cup, and he told me he's been training for years, and I believe him. I'm going Martin with this one.
And he's young too, right?
Both of them are young. I think
Okay.
Martin's probably in his early to mid-20s,
Right.
and then just based off of Garrett's picture, he looks like he's probably in his mid-20s as well. Yeah, so let's do it, guys. All right. Time to talk about yours
Pound
truly, Pound Town Pelko versus Stfan Salgot from Michigan. So, as the way the rankings work right now, I am the number 154 in the state of Ohio, top 5 in the nation for 154 as well. And Stfan is currently ranked number 2 in Michigan at 176, behind Manny Furioli. So, no doubt Stfan is a strong guy. If any of you have followed Stfan on his social media, the dude is completely jacked. I mean, makes me look like Play-Doh. That's how jacked this guy is. So I think Stefan's biggest detriment in this match is going to be his technique. I don't know if he relies on a lot of his brute power. I know he's strong as hell, but I'm going to have to use my experience, my ability to pull in every position, top roll, hook, press, make adjustments on the fly, and I think that's where I'm going to get him. I think I'm going to beat Stfan 3-0.
So Stefan's going to have Kevin in weight, but Stfan doesn't have nearly the experience. But if you know anything about arm wrestling, there's this thing where these heavier guys, they seem to have an advantage once you get a certain amount of experience in the sport. So it's tougher for Kevin to go up to 176 and pull that guy. But I think you got to realize something, and I know this probably better than anybody. That match that Kevin had, King of the Table against Joseph, was a tough one. And I think it took a lot out of Kevin, and I think he's had to do a lot of second guessing. However, he's formulated a plan, and I can see it. And I don't think Kevin's losing again. So, Stfan, you're going to have to bring it. My friend Joey from Arizona, you're my buddy. I haven't met you in person yet, but I'm going to tell you right now, Kevin has not forgotten about that match. So just be ready. I'm going to be rooting for you. Stfan, you're going to have to climb a mountain. Seem like a cool dude. I wish you luck, but you're losing 3-0, buddy.
Yeah, I actually think that Joseph match is very similar to what happened with you and Bo Horner.
We can relate.
Yeah, obviously you can't win every match in the world, and the matches that you do lose, you have to learn from those. And I definitely learned a lot from the King of the Table match, Joseph Morento. I think hats off to him. I think I made a lot of mistakes in that match, and Stfan, those mistakes aren't going to happen again.
Right. So true athletes that are dedicated take losses like that and embrace them and just grow and blossom from that. You know, like other people may turn the other way and say, hey, maybe this just isn't for me. Kevin is not one of those. I've known Kevin since he was a scrub, and I've seen him grow up and now be like nationally ranked in the nation, number 1 in Ohio. No disrespect to Stfan, because he's a good up-and-coming kid, strong. I'm sure, the best for him is yet to come. But Kevin's future GOAT, beast. There's days that, like, I got my hands full with him. I can't even fucking budge him. And I know Kevin's going to come guns a-blazing. This is,
He'll
again...
be coming hard and fast, I can guarantee you.
Yeah, they're going to find out why they call him Pound Town, Kevin Pound Town. This is one of those matches where you're going to see why weight is irrelevant. Stfan outweighs Kevin by how much?
It'll probably be about 15 pounds at the time of the match.
Right. Not that much, but enough for people to notice. But, the way Kevin is built is just the way, arm wrestlers are really built, like Ford, Ram Tough. I got this guy right here. It's going to be a good learning experience for Stfan.
Yeah, I got to go with Kevin. Kevin's super hungry right now. I think his being the smaller guy, his speed, and then his endurance is just going to pay off, and you're going to have a pretty easy match with him. 3-0.
Is Stfan normally a hook puller or a top roller?
I think he's a top roller.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he has very strong back pressure and a good wrist.
Okay.
I side poled with him at Michigan State last year, and he impressed me, which is why I wanted this match.
Sure.
So, but I think he's primarily a top roller.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been pulling with Kevin for 2 years now, and I think for the past 8 or 10 months, he's done something different, and he feels like a brick wall to me. He's, like he said, heavyweight arm on a lightweight body, baby. I got Kevin 3-0.
All right. Well, looks like my guys are sticking with me. Everybody's choosing me to beat Stfan. So if you're watching this, Stfan, use this as some fuel. Come in the best you can, because I want the best Stfan on that table May 31st. Absolutely. So let's move on to, it's going to be the main event of the evening. I don't know if it's going to be the last match, because I know DJ likes to come in and make his presence known and then head out. So the main event, but possibly not the last match. Daniel the Viking Fenton versus Sonny Gay. And this is going to be a super heavyweight showdown. Both of these guys highly ranked in the state of Ohio. I got to go with DJ. He's the man. DJ is the man in the state of Ohio. And I think he's going to prove it.
I mean, I don't know Sonny Gay at all. You know, when you're a guy my size and you go up against somebody like DJ, really it's hard to judge how strong that person is, because you can't move them or do anything with it. So I can't pick a winner. I don't have any idea, and it wouldn't be fair. I don't know.
I met DJ when I first relocated to Ohio, and he was up and coming then, just like, you know, like learning himself and getting better on the table. But it's not the DJ that we know today. 6 years later, the consistency that this guy has put into the sport is going to pay off May 31st. I'm sure that Sonny is a heck of a arm wrestler, super strong. Otherwise, would not have put him up against DJ. But I just think that DJ is going to be too much because of his current conditioning.
I think I may have pulled DJ once at J-Rob's place on a Tuesday night. I don't know Sonny at all, but I will say, you know, going to a couple practices around, you know, local practices, I've heard people talk rumors about how strong DJ is. And I think, you know, as somebody who is not so familiar with either puller, I'm sorry, Sonny, I've heard of DJ, and I've heard rumors about how strong he actually is, so.
Oh, they're not rumors.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
DJ is legit one of the strongest guys I've probably ever gripped up with. Mm-hmm. I mean, he goes to practice, and outside of the straps, will give Todd Hutchins trouble. I mean, easily. In the straps, we
just saw that video he posted.
Oh yeah,
He could go where?
over the knuckles,
Over
back
the knuckle,
pressure.
100 pounds, way up to a perfect 90. So the next day I went to the gym and I said, fuck it, I'm gonna try my 1 rep max. I haven't done a 1 rep max in a while, and I barely got 75 pounds. So
Yeah.
for DJ to do 100,
And it
like
kind of
this,
looked
and he said he probably could have done a little bit more. What else can you say?
right. Yeah, based on the video, it looked kind of easy. Like
His struggle.
his riser did not
It
even
was a
budge.
smooth, clean lift. Smooth, clean lift. It didn't break.
Yeah, I think DJ probably has the strongest wrist and riser. I don't know, maybe of anybody, but
Sonny's about to find out.
he is. Yeah, but
It might not be that sunny for Sonny.
exactly, it's not going to be a sunny day for. Yeah.
Is Sonny is he ranked in the state or something? Or
I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to look up the rankings.
he's
to
from
see.
Ohio?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I've known
Where's he from?
I don't know if it's Ohio or Kentucky. It's either Southern Ohio or Kentucky, but I know like he comes to the Todd Jackson tournaments a lot, and he wipes the floor clean of everybody. So Sonny Gay is definitely a legit super heavyweight arm wrestler, like Rich said, or else they wouldn't even be putting him up against DJ. So he's definitely in that category, but I just think DJ is going to be too strong.
Don't call him the Viking for nothing.
Yeah, he is a real life Viking. So myself and the rest of the crew, looks like we're going with our guy DJ. Go out there and show him what's DJ's all about. So I think that concludes all the matches for Dawg Fights 9. So
Excited, happy to be part of the team, happy to be competing May 31st, and we'll see you guys all there.
yeah. May 31st, Mad River Harley Davidson in Sandusky, Ohio. Dawg Fights 9. This is going to be during Ohio Bike Week. It's going to be crazy. This is going to be the best dog fights you've ever seen. It's open to the public, so if you guys are anywhere in the Sandusky, Ohio area, come on out. Check out all these cool matches. I think you'll have a great time.
Yeah, and come root for me against Adam Silver. I need some help. I need the biggest cheering section there is.
Heck yeah. Let's go, Clint. All right.